Hey, what's up guys, Tanmay for Simple Snippets, back with another video tutorial on Java programming, and this is a practical video tutorial wherein the question that we are going to program for is to print first 7 numbers of Fibonacci series, 7 or n numbers, whatever be the case, the logic is going to be the same. So let's start off with the programming part. Quickly open up your NetBeans IDE and program along with me. Also in the previous couple of video tutorials we've seen a lot of basic programs, so if you have missed those you can check it out in this playlist itself. So let's start off with this program. So I hope you know what a Fibonacci series is. If not, Fibonacci series is a series which is calculated by adding two numbers which are in series. So let's say first two numbers or first two positive numbers would be 0, 1. Then the third number would be sum of 0 and 1. So that would give you 1 itself, right? Then we have 1 plus 1. So every time the next number is calculated based on addition of the previous two numbers. So 1 plus 1 would give you 2. Now to calculate the next number, we have to add the previous two, that is 2 and 1. So that would give you 3. Then again 3 plus 2, that would give you 5. Then again 5 plus 3, that would give you 8. And this series will go on till infinity. So this is the type of series that we want to print. And yes, we are going to be using the looping control statement, that is the for loop, because we are going to be iterating through this entire series n number of times. That is, for now it is going to be 7 times to print this series. So the first 7 numbers of the Fibonacci series would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so from 0 till 8. So this is something that we want to print on the console. So let's start off with the programming part. So I hope you have started off with your NetBeans IDE. You should program along with me for the best practice. So first we'll declare two variables. I'll say int a equals to 0, int b equals to 1. So these are the first two variables of the series and they have to be declared itself because later on we'll use them to calculate the third variable. So I'm also going to say int c, which will act as a third variable. And these are the three different variables that we will need in this program. Let's start off with the for loop. I'll say int I equals to 0, I less than 7 and I plus plus. So I hope you already know how to use a for loop because we've explicitly covered this topic in the previous video tutorials from this playlist. So if you haven't seen that, and if you don't know what a for loop is, you can check that video. So what we're doing is, we are starting off with I equals to 0 and we will be going till 6. So from 0 to 6, it is 7 iterations, right? Because since we are starting with 0, we can also start with 1. But then this condition has to be less than equal to 7. So no issues with that. I can start off with 1 also. But typically we start off from 0 and it should be I less than 7 so that we have 7 iterations. Okay. So this was about the for loop structure. Now inside what we're going to do is, the first statement that we're going to say is system.out.print, and this is not going to be println, it is going to be print. So the difference between print and println is, every time system.out.println is called, the output is printed on a new line and the print only appends it on that same line. So you'll understand in a minute. I'll show you the difference also. Inside that, what I'm going to say is, I'm just going to say print a. So just follow along with me, you'll understand why I'm doing this. The next statement is going to be c is equal to a plus b. So this is the c variable, that is the next variable. So every time the next variable is always the sum of the first two. So a and b being the 1 and 2 variable. So the third variable would be sum of a and b, right? So that's why I'm using this third c variable. Now what happens is, a becomes b and b becomes c. Correct? We have to move forward, right? So a will become b and b will become c. And you have to do this in exactly this order, otherwise you will mess up the program. We'll also dry run this so that you understand it step by step. And basically this is the end of this program. Let's try to save this and run this and let's see if this series is printed. So there you go, you can see 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. I forgot to add some spaces in between, so I'll append some spaces. Let's save this and let's run this. So there you go, you can see now 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8. So this is the exact series. So if you were to increase the number of iterations, let's say 10. So 10 Fibonacci series values will be printed. So this is the further values of the Fibonacci series. So 8 plus 5 is going to be 13, 13 plus 8 is going to be 21, 21 plus 13 is going to be 34 and so on. So you can print n number of variables. And if I just add on ln over here, you'll see the difference in the output. So there you go, you can see now it is printing line by line. So that's why I just used print instead of println, and basically we got the output. Now let's try to dry run this and let's see how exactly we got this output. So I'm going to open up my notepad and we're going to dry run it step by step. So step number 1, in fact before the for loop we have a equals to 0, b equals to 1, and we haven't even initialized c, we just declared it. So the first iteration we are starting, so I value is going to be 0. Is I less than 10? In fact, let me just change this to 7, or I'll just reduce this to 5 so that we just dry run 5 numbers or 5 iterations. So I'll say, is I less than 5? Yes, because I is 0. So this for loop is going to be executed. So first value is printed. So a is printed. Now a is 0, right? So output, I'm just going to write it OP. OP is for output, is equal to 0. Okay. Now what all change happens after that? C is equal to a plus b. Now a is 0, b is 1. So C is going to be 1. A is equal to B. So A has become 1 now because B is 1. And B has also become 1 because B is equal to C, we are saying. So C value goes in B, which means B also becomes 1. So all these things happen in step number 1. Now the increment I++ happens. So I becomes 1. So this is an increment operator which increments the value of I by 1. Now again the condition is checked because the for loop one iteration is done. So now it checks the value. Now the initialization doesn't happen, it just checks the value. So is I less than 5? Yes, I has become 1. So 1 is still less than 5, right? So we will have one more iteration, step 2. Here I is equal to 1. First line prints the output. So output will be A. So the A recent value is 1. So now 1 is printed. C becomes A plus B. C is equal to A plus B. Now you can see the recent value of A is 1 and recent value of B is 1. So C becomes 2. A becomes B. So what is the recent value of B? It was 1 in step number 1, which was the latest value. So A becomes 1 and B now becomes 2 because B is equal to C is the last statement. So C's value goes to B. So this is step number 2, and then increment happens. Then I becomes 2, and then again the condition is checked. Is I less than 5? Yes. So step number 3 or iteration 3 is going to happen where I is equal to 3. Now the output is going to be printed as print of A, right? We are printing A value. The A recent value is still 1. So output is again going to be 1. Then C is going to be A plus B. So A's value is 1, B's value is 2, C is going to be 3. A is going to be 2 because B is transferred in A, and B's value is going to be 3. And again I++ is going to happen. So I is equal to 4. Is 4 less than 5? Yes, it is less than 5. So step number 4 is going to happen. Here I is equal to 4. Output is going to be A, which is 2 over here. C is going to be 2 plus 3, that is 5. A is going to be 3 and B is going to be 5. Now again I++ is going to happen. So new value of I is going to be 5. So now it is going to check, is 5 less than 5? No, because 5 can be equal to 5, 5 cannot be less than 5. So now we are exiting the for loop. So what all did we get as the output? Let's check. First output was 0, then we got 1, then we again got 1, and then we got 2. So this was the first 4 numbers, right? 0, 1, 1, 2 of the Fibonacci series. Let's try to run this and let's see if we get the same output. Yes, you can see 0, 1, 1, 2 and 3. So we are running it one more time, and that's why we are getting one more value. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you understood the entire concept of how to print Fibonacci series and how to iterate in the for loop. So you have to type this exact code to get the perfect series, and you cannot change the order as well. Otherwise there would be a problem in the printing. And that's it for this video, guys. If you like this video, if you found this informational, please share this video with your friends so that even they understand this concept, and give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comments how this video was. Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video tutorial. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.